We've been on a journey, it's been quite a ride. Chopping game with legends from the east to the west side. Makavelli's wisdom, the bumpy street cred, and Tupac's thug life will keep the streets fed. Dope interviews, we bring the heat. Dope interview, run these YouTube streets. We got people from the past that's not real, it's a spoof. Just some shit to make you laugh. Dope interviews, we bring the heat. Dope interview, run these YouTube streets. We got people from the past that's not real, it's a spoof. Just some shit to make you laugh.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Dope Interview, and today we've got a legend in the house. He's a rapper, actor, and an icon of the game. You know who I'm talking about. It's the one and only Makavelli, the Dome.
What's good, everybody? Thanks for having me here today.
Man, it's an honor to have you here. Pac, now we gotta dive right into it. Your last studio album, All Eyes on Me, was a masterpiece, and after that, you dropped The Donk Illuminated, The Seventh Day Theory. Can you tell us what inspired you to create that album?
The 7 Day Theory. That was something else, man. I was feeling like the game was twisted, like the industry was against us, against streets. I wanted to shed light on the real, the raw. It was like a prophecy, a message I needed to out there before.
Before what, Pac?
Before everything changed, man. You know how it is in this game. Dope interview. You're here one day, and the next day, you don't know what's gonna happen.
True words, Pac. Your lyrics in that album, they were powerful. You spoke about the East Coast, West Coast rivalry, the Illuminati, and even your own death. Some say it's like you predicted the future. What can you tell us about those conspiracies, especially the one about your death?
That conspiracy, man, they're real. There's always more gone behind the scenes than folks know. The East Coast, West Coast thing was some bullshit the government cooked up like they did during the Black Panthers. And any disagreements between comrades happen to government will always take that chance to conquer and divide. So always be mindful of the hidden hand.
The hidden hand or the Wizard of Oz. So, Pac, so what about your own death?
Look, I ain't saying I predicted my death, but I knew the game was dirty. I knew they wanted me out. Makavelli, that's what I became. And it was like, I was talking from beyond the grave, trying to wake people up.
Why would they want to take you out? What situations made you feel this way?
My roots runs deep, man. I'm a son of a Black Panther. So with that comes haters from all areas, especially when the spotlight is on you, like it was on me.
So Puxy, on the song Smile, you said you sold your soul for material riches. What did you mean by that? Was it literally or metaphorically?
When I first got into the game, my whole aim was to make a change. But then a deal was proposed to me.
What kind of deal are we talking about, Pac? I mean, you did sign to Jimmy at Interscope Records, but that's just a rap contract, correct?
Shit, that's what I thought in the beginning. But there's more to it than just entertaining. They don't give you that type of exposure without a price tag that comes with it.
Pac, you beating around the bush. Did you do a deal with the devil for fortune and fame?
I told you I did, but once I realized that it was a fucked up deal, I turned my back on it. But in the deal, if you turn your back on what you signed up for, odds are you were gonna pay the price. And I knew from that day forward, I wasn't gonna be here long before they killed me because I took my soul back and gave it to God. As for my death, I already had dreams about it. I knew how it was gonna happen and all. Notice they tried to get me for rape. Like what the fuck I look like raping a woman, especially a Black woman. I ain't bragging, but I ain't have to do that. And everybody knew it. Then they tried to murder me in New York, man. I was going through hell ever since I turned on that deal.
Tupac, during those days, I was probably 9 years old. And to me, you was our modern day Malcolm X, especially with songs like Keep Your Head Up and Dear Mama. So I knew personally that you wouldn't rape nobody. Shit, you had all the girls chasing you on I Get Around.
I appreciate that because I, for one, don't have many patience for those who doubt me. Like I wrote those songs from the heart. Like who the fuck back then was making those type of songs? Nobody. So when you had people make fun or light of my situation, I resent them even to this day. I don't fuck with them. On top of all of that, you had them niggas on the East Coast that tried to blow my fucking balls off. Shit, them niggas really tried to make me a fucking paraplegic. And I got love for New York. Everybody know I'm from there. So to have them turn against me was like, damn, I can't win for losing.
Word, Pac. You've been calling out some names in your tracks, like Biggie, and it's been heating up the East Coast, West Coast rivalry. So what's the real deal behind all that drama?
It ain't about East or West. Man, it's about respect. Better yet, it's about niggas and bitches, power and money, riders and punks. So what side are you on? You gotta pick a side. And when you got foes taking shots at you, you gotta clap back. Biggie and Puffy, they were family once, but when I got robbed and shot on their turf and Biggie's supposed to be the Don, and act like he ain't no shit, I was like, fuck him. Plus, I was mad at Biggie because before I got set up, shot and locked up, the nigga Biggie was screaming thug life. I had that nigga around me as a lieutenant and showed him the game. I told that nigga Biggie straight up, don't make music for the niggas, but throw some songs out. They're for the bitches, and the niggas gonna buy what the bitches wanna hear. Then when niggas see that I'm in prison, he didn't represent thug life no more. These niggas telling me to keep my head up and shit all the while, trying to take my spot. Instead of coming see me, this nigga sending messages through people, and I thought this was my homeboy. You don't do that to niggas that show you love and put you on game. Just go and listen to his first song, Party and Bullshit. Then go listen to the album, Ready to Die. He became a Don. After I exposed him to some player shit. Puffy didn't do that, I did that. Now the nigga wanna be a big papa when I was the one who used to beg bitches to fuck this nigga. All the while, this nigga Biggie talking about my life in his music, but ain't giving me no support when I was locked behind them bars. So it was fuck him, you know? But I ain't wanna do no physical harm to Biggie. I still love him. But even with love, it can be tough. And plus, once you're my homeboy, we'll always be homeboys.
So how do you feel about people saying that Biggie was more lyrical than you?
It's like this, when it comes to this rap shit, ain't that nigga alive fucking with me. Just check out my first albums, and you'll see when I chose to be lyrical. There wasn't one rapper in the game that could get on my level. The nigga Biggie had lyrics for days. One of the best I've heard. I would never take that away from him. But I write songs, and I have more songs and more classic than anybody in the game, including Biggie.
Respect, Pac. You're not just a rapper. You're an actor too. How's it different stepping into those movie roles compared to dropping lyrical bombs on the mic?
Acting's like telling a story, man. It's a different way of expressing myself. When I'm on that screen, I become a character. But I always bring that rawness, that passion from the streets with me. It's all about keeping it real, whether I'm acting or rhyming mine. I just happen to do both very well.
You mentioned how you on the screen reminds me of your dad, William Garland, who said how when he seen you on the big screen in Juice, it amazed him to see his son and how much the both of y'all look alike.
Shit, I was amazed after waking up in the hospital, after being shot, to see a nigga that looked just like me. I thought I was dreaming, looking at that older version of myself, but it was good to see my pops.
No doubt, thug life ain't just a phrase. It's a way of life for you. What's the philosophy behind it, and how has it shaped your journey?
Thug life is about surviving against all odds, rising above the struggle, and never backing down. It's about standing up for what you believe in, even if it's going against the world. It's a mindset, a mentality. It's what keeps me going, even when times get tough. The hate you gave little infants fucks everybody. Thug life.
Tupac, I noticed on the Makavelli album that it sounded totally different from your last project. Like the direction was like all of your past albums, well put together, thought out, and different. Who was the producers you worked with on the classic album?
I'm glad you noticed the difference, because on All Eyes on Me, that was me showing love to Death Row and giving my listeners the vibe that was Potent in California. That nigga Daz, along with my producer, Johnny J, did a lot of production on my past album. But with this one, I was just gonna let the dice roll, and it landed in what niggas was calling the whack room. See, at the time, there was a dude named Hurt Mbat, who was just an up-and-coming producer at Death Row. And this dude, Daryl Harper, who was an R&B producer, Shu had him working on all the RB projects. They had a green room up in Cannes and studios, which everybody around Death Row called the doc room because they said ain't nothing but whack shit come out of there. But a few times I checked in their room to hear some shit and like what I heard. So one day I decided to go get them niggas. So I was like, I need a beat here. I need y'all to do this, do that. And these are niggas that nobody at Death Row was fucking with. They'll tell you themselves.
The song Hail Mary is one of the standout tracks on the album. Don Killuminati, can you share the creative process behind writing and recording this song?
Man, Hail Mary was something else. We were in the studio and I was feeling fired up, you know? I wanted to drop some heat and that's when the inspiration hit me. A beat was bumping and I just started pouring out my thoughts and emotion. The lyrics in Hail Mary are like a prayer, a cry for help in a world full of chaos. Like I said, I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy.
So Pac, you telling me that revenge itself is just as good as sex?
Hell yeah, especially when you can fuck a nigga wife who claim to be a big papa. Now, on the real, I ain't want to fuck his wife. But I did it to show him where he get this boss player shit from.
Hit 'Em Up was legendary. The first time hearing it blew my mind. That's when I noticed that you had Static with Biggie on a whole new level. And I must say that one diss record set a trend for the music industry. Like a rapper named Young Dolph talked about how he fucked another rapper's girl and he got shot at over 100 times for it. How do you feel about that, Pac?
Well, that's what comes with it. If you could say you fuck my bitch, that was my bitch homie. She was just a bitch I fucked. But I wouldn't kill you for it, but some of these niggas sensitive like hoes. When I talked about Faith, I didn't care about how that nigga felt. If he was a player like he pretended to be, he should know the game. Your bitch chose me. I'm gonna say this, rap music came up off dissing. If you pick up the mic, that's what comes with it. Me and Young Dolph didn't start dissing niggas on the record. That shit started before us. This is what separates rap music from any other genre that might be out there. This is a blood sport. Niggas heard my song and acted like the world was coming to an end. Like Ice Cube didn't fuck over his own group, NWA, with no Vaseline. It's like when they do it, it's cool. But when I do it, it's a motherfucking problem. Shit, back when I heard Nova Solid, my mind was blown away because I looked up to them niggas, just like Young Dolph and others might have looked up to me. If you step in this rap game and pick up the mic, just know that other rappers are allowed to come at your top lyrically. Keep that shit on wax or get your whack ass out the game.
Many listeners consider Blasphemy to be a controversial track due to its religious themes. What message were you trying to convey with this song?
Blasphemy was my way of speaking some hard truths about society and the struggles I saw. I wanted to challenge the status quo to make people question the world around them. It's like a wake-up call, you know? In the song, I touched on some religious themes, but it wasn't about disrespecting anyone's faith. It was about highlighting the hypocrisy I saw in the world. I felt like there were people out there using religion for their own gain, while others were suffering and struggling. I couldn't stay silent about it. I wanted to remind people that we are all human and we should be looking out for each other, no matter our beliefs. Blasphemy might have been controversial, but it was my way sparking a conversation about the issues that matter. It's all love, man. Like, got advice from my father, and all he told me was this: nigga, get off your ass if you plan to be rich.
To Live and Die in LA is a homage to Los Angeles. How did the city influence your music? And what message did you want to convey to your fans about LA?
Man, LA had a huge influence on my music and my life. Just like the Bay Area, niggas in California showed me mad love. To Live and Die in LA was all about expressing my love for the city and the people who held me down there. When the Watts riots happened, I was out there just like everyone else. So LA is special to me. Plus, I want to show the world the real L, not just the glitz and glamour in Hollywood, but the struggles and the beauty of it too. I want to celebrate the diversity, the culture, and the resilience of the folks in the streets. And I wanted my fans to feel that connection. It's a song about the city's high and lows, the good times and the hard time. But through it all, there's a sense of love and loyalty. It's about repping where you come from and staying true to your roots. LA gave me so much, and to live and die in LA was my way of giving something back to the place that showed me love.
It's also been rumored that you joined the Bloods gang due to your affiliation with Suge Knight and Death Row Records. How do you feel about that?
Man, there have been all kinds of rumors and stories about me over the years. Yeah, I had ties to some folks, including Suge Knight and Death Row Records, but I wasn't joining no gang. I was just trying to navigate a crazy industry and protect myself in a sometimes dangerous world. It's like this. I came from the streets and I knew people in various neighborhoods. When you're on the music game, you gotta watch your back. And sometimes you align yourself with those who can provide some security. But that doesn't mean I was officially joining any gang. I was my own man, and I was all about my music and my message. MOB was my way of showing love because it's money over bitches. I understand why people might think that, but there's a lot more to my story than meets the eye. I was just trying to survive and make a difference through my music.
How do you feel when people say that being on death row changed you?
Actually, it did change me for a moment. You see, I'm the only son to my mother, so I never grew up with brothers or a consistent household. I was always moving around because the government made it extremely difficult for my mother to live a decent life. So I had to grow up tough but strong, a born leader. When I got to death, Roll Mix embraced me with open arms. Plus, that nigga Chuck spoiled me as an artist. I had everything accessible to me, even the army if I needed to go to war. So hell, yeah, I went on my West Side ride with Death Row by all means to kill my adversaries on wax.
Against All Odds addresses various controversies and conflicts in your life. Can you elaborate on the events that inspired this song and the emotions behind it?
Against All Odds was a track where I let out a lot of frustrations and emotions that had been building up. It was a response to all the beef and drama that seemed to surround me in the rap game. I was tired of all the rumors, the rivalries, and the conflicts. I had some real issues with some other artists, and I wasn't one to back down from a fight, whether it was with my words or my actions. The song was a way for me to address all that head on and let people know I wasn't gonna be silenced. It was a raw and intense track, and I meant every word of it. It's a reminder that I was willing to stand up for what I believed in, no matter the consequences. And yeah, it might have added to the controversy, but I was always gonna keep it real, no matter what.
On that particular song, you mentioned a lot of enemies like Haitian Jack, Jimmy Henchman, Nas, and more. Did you ever get to resolve any of those beefs before your death? Nas said that y'all had a conversation about you dissing him, and you told him that you would take his name out of the album but didn't get to because you got shot like a week later.
Man, it's a crazy thing about the rap game and the conflicts that can arise. You know, sometimes it's just a lot of heat in the moment, and later on you can have conversations and try to resolve things. Nas and I did have a conversation, and we were working towards squashing that beef. I was gonna take his name out of the album. But like you said, things happen so fast, and my life took a tragic turn. It's one of those things I wish I could have done differently, but you can't change the past. It's a reminder of how fragile our life can be, and how sometimes you don't get a chance to make things right. That's why I always encourage people to try to resolve their issues peacefully and not let conflicts escalate. Life's too short, and you never know when it might be your last day.
White Man's World touches on issues of racial inequality and injustice. How important was it for you to address these issues in your music and to have inserts from the likes of Khalid Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan on the same song?
Man, addressing issues of racial inequality and justice was crucial for me. I grew up in a world where I saw a lot of struggle and pain in the communities I came from. I wanted to use my platform to shed light on those issues and hopefully inspire change. as for having voices like Khalid Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan on White Man's World. It was about bringing attention to the voices that often go unheard. They were powerful figures who were also trying to make a difference in their own ways. I wanted to amplify their messages and contribute to the larger conversation about social justice and equality. Music has the power to reach people on a deep level, and I wanted to use that power to make a positive impact and speak up for those who might not have had a voice otherwise.
Me and My Girlfriend is a unique track where you personify a gun as your girlfriend. What was the inspiration behind this creative choice? And what message did you intend to convey?
Me and My Girlfriend was a creative way for me to express the idea of loyalty and trust. In the song, the gun symbolizes something that's always there for you, something you can rely on in a world filled with betrayal and danger. It's a metaphor for the need to protect oneself and the people you care about in a hostile environment. I wanted to convey the idea that in the midst of all the chaos and adversity, you can find solace and strength in the things you hold dear. It's a reflection of the complex and sometimes contradictory aspects of life where you might turn to something unconventional for comfort and protection. Also, it was inspired by Nas' song, I Gave You Power, which when I heard it, I thought the shit was dope. So I did it my way on my album.
So Tupac, your song, just like Daddy, addresses how you can be a father figure to a woman, as well as her man. What gave you the inspiration to write that song?
I appreciate the question. Just like Daddy was inspired by my experiences and observations of relationships, particularly the complex dynamics between men and women. In my music, I often try to explore various facets of life, including love and relationships. I wanted to emphasize that in a healthy relationship, it's not just about being a romantic partner, but also about being a source of support, guidance, and understanding, almost like a father figure. The inspiration for the song came from wanting to convey the idea that as a man, I could be there for a woman emotionally and offer the kind of support that goes beyond traditional gender roles. I wanted to express the importance of being a responsible and caring partner, someone who could provide stability and guidance, just like a father would for his children. In essence, just like Daddy was about challenging societal norms and showing that men can play a nurturing and supportive role in a relationship, in addition to being a romantic partner. It was a reflection of my belief in the importance of mutual respect and understanding between partners in any relationship.
So Tupac, how do you feel about those who say you shot yourself while being robbed at Quad Studios?
All that shit is cap. Look, I know how to use a gun. Ask them off duty. Cops who threw a brick through my car in Atlanta, how good I can shoot. I raised around revolutionaries, and being armed to defend yourself was one of many fundamentals you had to know while being a Panther. But with all that said, I didn't have time to react because I didn't expect that shit to happen, being that I was around niggas that I knew. I understand that there have been various theories and rumors surrounding the incident at Quad Studios in 1994. Some have questioned the circumstances of the shooting, and there have been different accounts of what happened. It's not uncommon for such events to generate controversy and speculation. What I can say is that I've always maintained that I was shot during that incident, and it was a traumatic experience for me. I like to emphasize that my music and my heart have always been about addressing issues like inequality, social injustice, and the struggles of the communities I came from. These are the issues that matter most to me, and I hope my work continues to inspire people to think critically and work toward positive change in their own lives and in society.
Tupac, if you could collaborate with any artist from a different era, who would it be, and what would your hit song together be called?
If I could collaborate with an artist from a different era, I think it would be powerful to work with someone like Marvin Gaye. He was known for his socially conscious music, and I have a lot of respect for his ability to address important issues through his art. Our hit song together could be called Revolutionary Harmony. It would be a fusion in our styles, blending Marvin's soulful melodies with my lyrical storytelling. The song would carry a message of unity, love, and the need for positive change in the world. Something that both of us were passionate about during our respective times.
If you could have had a different career entirely, what would it have been and why?
If I were to choose a different career entirely, I think I would have pursued a path in activism and social justice. Throughout my life and career, I was deeply passionate about addressing issues of inequality, injustice, and the struggles faced by marginalized communities. I use my music as a platform to speak out on these topics, but if I weren't a musician, I would have wanted to work directly on creating social change. Perhaps I would have become a community organizer, a civil rights advocate, or even a political leader. My goal would have been to affect positive change in the world by working to dismantle systemic oppression and advocating for the rights and empowerment of those who needed it most. Music was a powerful tool for me to express these ideas, but I believe I could have made impact in other ways as well.
Pucks, what's your secret to looking so stylish and fresh all the time? Any fashion tips for your fans?
Man, I always believed in expressing myself through my style. I think the key to looking fresh is staying true to yourself and wearing what makes you feel confident. It's not about following trends, but rather finding your own unique style and owning it. One tip I give to my fan, it'd be fearless in your fashion choices. Don't be afraid to mix and match different styles and don't worry too much about what others think. Fashion is a form of self-expression, so let it reflect your personality and individuality. Oh, and remember, it's not about how expensive your clothes are, it's about how you wear them. Confidence is the best accessory you can have, so stay true to yourself, stay confident, and keep your head up.
Tupac, do you remember when you walked for Versace back in 1995? It's been seen and told that Versace personally invited you himself and that you came down the Versace runway in Milan alongside girlfriend Kidada Jones, dressed in a gold velvet suit from the collection, and launched into a performance of your iconic hit California Love that set the crowd on fire.
Man, I remember that like it was yesterday. Walking for Versace was an incredible experience. Gianni Versace personally invited me, and it was an honor to be part of such a legendary fashion show. The gold velvet suit was fire, and performing California Love on the runway was a moment I'll never forget. The crowd's energy was off the charts, and it was all love. It was a chance to blend my music and style with the world of fashion, and I'm glad I got to do it. Gianni Versace was a true visionary, and I was proud to be a part of his show. My band, Bodyguard Frank Alexander, also was able to come to the show with me, as he mentioned in one of his documentaries.
If you had to choose between rapping for the rest of your life or becoming a stand-up comedian, which one would you pick?
Man, that's a tough one. I've got love for both music and making people laugh. But if I had to choose, I'd stick with rapping for the rest of my life. Music is in my blood, and it's my way of expressing myself, speaking my truth, and connecting with people. Plus, I believe I can use my music to address important issues and make a positive impact on the world. But hey, I still drop a few jokes here and there to keep the vibes right.
Tupac, if you were to write a children's book, what would it be about and what would you title it?
I would write a children's book. I wanted to inspire young minds and teach them valuable life lessons. I might title Dream Big, a journey of hope and possibility. It would be a story about a young kid facing challenges but never giving up on their dreams, no matter how tough things get. The message would be about resilience, hope, and the power of believing in yourself, something I always wanted to instill in the youth.
What's the most bizarre rumor you've heard about yourself? And can you set the record straight?
One of the most bizarre rumors I've heard about myself is that I faked my own death. The rumors suggest that I'm still alive and living in secret somewhere. I can assure you that this rumor is not true. I passed away in 1996. And while my music and legacy live on, I am not living in hiding or secretly among the living.
Tupac, if you were a superhero, what would your superpower be? And what would your superhero name be?
If I were a superhero, my superpower would be the ability to heal and bring peace to troubled communities. My superhero name would be Makavelli, the Dom. I'd use my powers to mend the wounds of society, promote unity, and work towards a better world for all.
If you had to create a signature cocktail named after one of your songs, what would it contain, or what would you call it?
I created a signature cocktail named Thug Passion. It would contain a mix of California's finest ingredients, including citrus fruits like oranges and lemons combined with a smooth California-made vodka or tequila. It would be a refreshing and vibrant drink that captures the essence of the West Coast.
If you were stuck on a deserted island and could only bring 3 items, what would they be and why?
If I was stuck on a deserted island, I'd bring my music collection. Music has always been a source of inspiration and comfort for me, and having my favorite songs to help pass the time and keep my spirits up. A journal and pen. I've always been a writer, and being able to document my thoughts, experiences, and perhaps even write new songs or poems would be important to me. And some Trojan condoms, cause a few of my lady friends coming with me. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of fucking, other than that, probably an AK-47, just in case some shit pops off. These items would provide a mix of entertainment, creativity, and practicality to help me make the most of my time on the island.
Tupac, so who was your favorite character to play? Bishop off of Juice or Birdie on Above the Rim? And how did you get ready for the part while acting?
Well, you see, both Bishop and Juice and Birdie and Above the Rim characters I connected with deeply, but if I had to choose, I say Bishop and Juice was a bit more challenging and therefore more rewarding for me as an actor. Playing Bishop allowed me to explore complex layers of a troubled young man descending into violence and chaos. To prepare for the role of Bishop, I did a lot of research and spent time with people who had experienced similar situations. I wanted to understand the psychology behind his character and the environment he came from. I also drew from my own life experiences and emotions to bring authenticity to the role. It was important to me to portray these characters as real and relatable, even if their actions were extreme. I wanted viewers to understand the motivations and struggles of young men like Bishop and Birdie, who often find themselves caught up in difficult circumstances. Ultimately, both roles were significant in my acting career, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to bring these characters to life on screen. But that nigga Bishop was crazy and cutthroat, and that's where we are different. For I ain't crazy or cutthroat. I'm just Tupac Amar Shakur.
How do you feel about everybody in the rap game getting tattooed after you showcased all of yours in your music videos and album covers? Like even myself at 10 years old was burning marks on my arm. I even took some ink from art class in 6th grade to use with a needle to get a tattoo. Master P and his whole crew then picked up everything that you left behind and kept the tattoo thing going. So how do you feel about your worldwide influence for niggas getting tattooed?
I think it's interesting how my style and choices have influenced the rap and music industry, including the trend of getting tattoos. Tattoos can be a form of self-expression and can hold personal significance for individuals. While I never intended to set a trend, I believe that everyone should express themselves authentically. And if tattoos are a way for them to do that, then that's a positive thing. It's all about being true to yourself and embracing your own unique identity.
Tupac, you also mentioned that your mind couldn't find a place to rest until you got Thug Life tatted on your chest. Expound on that.
When I got Thug Life tattooed on my chest, it was a powerful and symbolic moment for me. It represented the struggles and challenges I had faced growing up, especially in communities affected by poverty, violence, and systemic inequality. Thug Life stood for the hate. Give little infants fucks, everybody. And it was a statement against the cycle of oppression and violence that many young people, particularly in marginalized communities, were exposed to. It was a way for me to wear my beliefs and experiences proudly, to stand up against injustice, and to let the world know that I understood the pain and anger that many people felt. It was also a call for unity and empowerment within these communities. I believe that by addressing the root causes of these issues and working together, we could bring about positive change. In many ways, that tattoo was a testament to my commitment to social justice and my desire to use my platform as an artist to shed light on the struggles of the people. It was a way to keep the issues that matter most to me close to my heart, quite literally.
Since you have been gone, your mother Alphanet, your brother Mo Premier, and many others of your family, as well as your group, the Outlaws have been holding your legacy down. How proud are you for that?
I'm incredibly proud of my family, my mother Afe, my brother Mo Premier, and all the members of the Outlaws for their unwavering dedication to preserving and carrying on my legacy. They have continued to spread my messages of social justice, unity, and empowerment, ensuring that my music and ideals remain alive and relevant. It warms my heart to know that they've taken on the responsibility of keeping my memory and mission alive, not just for me, but for the countless fans and communities that have been inspired by my work. I always believed that my art had the power to ignite change and make a difference, and the commitment to this cause is a testament to that belief. It's a challenging task to maintain a legacy, but I have faith in their abilities and their love for the music and the message. I hope they continue to inspire and uplift others through their work, just as they have done for me.
Also, after you passed on, your cousin, who you called your little brother, Yaki Gaddafi, also was killed. How much did your cousin Yaki Gaddafi mean to you?
Yaki Gaddafi meant a great deal to me. He wasn't just my cousin. He was like a little brother to me. We shared a deep bond, both personally and professionally. Yaki was a talented rapper and a member of the Outlaws, and he played an essential role in the music we created together. Beyond music, Yaki and I had a close friendship. We supported each other through the ups and downs of life, and I trusted him as a confidant. Losing him was a devastating blow. It added to the already profound sense of loss that my friends and family felt after my passing. Yaki Gaddafi memory lives on through his music and the impact he had on those who knew him. His contributions to hip hop and his connection to me continue to be celebrated by fans and loved ones alike.
For those who may not be familiar with your cousin, Yaki Gaddafi, give us some insight about who he was and where he came from. Because I do know that his mother was also a Black Panther, am I correct?
You're correct that Yaki Gaddafi's mother, the Asmian Fula, was associated with the Black Panther Party. Yaki Gaddafi, whose birth name was Yafiu Kyle Fule, was born on October 9, 1977, in Montclair, New Jersey. He was my cousin and a close friend. Yaki grew up in a family with a strong commitment to social justice, which was influenced by his mother's activism. Sekou Odinga and Yasmin Fula. When he was 4 years old, his father, Sekou Odinga, was arrested and imprisoned. He was raised by his mother and adopted her surname. In 1994, Gaddafi reconnected with his childhood friend, Mutar Napoleon Beale. Fula's mother, Yasmin, introduced Napoleon to me, and all three created Drama Sidal. Gaddafi, only 16, took on the stage name Young Hollywood. The group appeared on our album Me Against the World. Drama Sidal became known as Outlaw. Immortals out, because the Outlaws. Him. And my cousin changed his stage name to Yaki Gaddafi after Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. The Outlaws recorded frequently with me throughout 1996. My cousin also teamed up with fellow Outlaws member Hussein Fatal to record material under the name Fatal Dan Fallon.
So about finally, can you describe the events leading up to your last night in Las Vegas? What were you doing and who were you with?
On the night of September 7, 1996, in Las Vegas, I attended a Mike Tyson vs. Bruce Seldon boxing match at the GM Grand Hotel and Casino. I was accompanied by Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records, and a group of friends and associates. It was a high-profile event, and I was enjoying the fight and the atmosphere. After the match, I was involved in a physical altercation with another individual at the hotel. The details of that altercation are still a subject of debate and investigation. Following the incident, I returned to my hotel room at the Luxor Hotel.
So Tupac, many people wonder, why did you wear you bulletproof vest that night like times before? Because the look you had in your eyes in that picture with you and Shoot driving off was like you knew something was going to happen.
It's true that I had worn a bulletproof vest on several occasions before due to concerns about my safety. However, on that particular night in Las Vegas, I did not have my bulletproof vest on. The reasons for this decision are not entirely clear. They've been a subject of speculation. As for the look in my eyes in that photo, it's important to remember that photographs capture moments in time and emotions can be complex. I may have had a range of emotions that night, given the events that had transpired and the tense atmosphere surrounding the boxing match and its aftermath. The circumstances of that evening remain a mystery, and the details leading up to the tragic shooting are still subject of debate and investigation.
There have been various theories and speculations about what happened after leaving the boxing match. Can you clarify the events that transpired immediately following the fight and leading up to the tragic shooting?
The events leading up to the shooting in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996 have been the subject of much debate and speculation. Here is what is generally known. After leaving the boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, I was in a car with Big Sugar and some other individuals. We were stopped at a red light when another vehicle pulled up next to us and some multiple gunshots were fired into our car. I was hit several times and Suge Knight was also injured. The attackers then fled the scene. I was taken to the hospital and underwent surgery, but sadly succumbed to my injury on September 3, 1996. The identity of the shooters and the motives behind the attack remain unresolved mysteries, and the case is still officially unsolved.
Tupac, there have been various speculations and theories about the circumstances surrounding your shooting in Las Vegas. Some people have suggested that Suge Knight, who was with you that night and also faced injuries, may have been involved in some way. How do you respond to these theories, and what are your thoughts on the events that occurred that night?
I want niggas to think logically who the fuck is going to be next to a nigga willingly while he's being gunned down. Make no mistake about Suge was my partner. He looked out for me just like I did for him, as for that night. We were heading to club 662 for a night out. The atmosphere was tense due to ongoing feud between East Coast and West Coast hip-hop artists, which had led to several altercations and conflicts in the past. And we stopped at a red light. A white Cadillac pulled up alongside a car and gunfire erupted. I was shot multiple times and Suge was also hit. The assailants quickly fled the scene. Despite being wounded, I managed to exit the vehicle and was taken to the hospital for medical treatment. The shooter had a profound impact, not only on my life, but on the hip-hop community and the music industry as a whole. It remains an unsolved crime, and there have been numerous conspiracy theories and speculations about who was responsible for the attack. But like I said before, whether it was in Las Vegas or anywhere else, I seen this in my dream. But this time, unlike when I got shot in New York, the whole world felt it. I made a song a long time ago called How Long Would They Mourn Me? And as you can see, niggas still talking about me.
Tupac asked for the investigation at Southside Crib drug kingpin from L. Said in multiple interviews that he and his crew had something to do with your murder. How do you feel about that?
You just said he was a gangster, so why is he talking? Look, I've been had closure with my passing. I went out like a G, but one thing they will never kill is my movement. All I can say is, Big Shug, keep your head up. My nigga been going through since I've been gone. And maybe by him helping me brought the heat of the government on it. Cause since I was born into my revolutionary family, the FBI had me and everyone around me on watch. All I can see, you will never see the hidden hand.
So you think that the government had a part in your assassination, or was it just street beef as it has been rumored?
Ask yourself what a gang banging crip. Go to court and press charges on rapper. That beat him up, because that's what Orlando did it. After I died, he sued my estate for getting his ass kicked. And beyond that, why was this nigga alone, by himself? To me, I set up, but it's cool. I ain't even tripping.
Tupac, in your song Heaven, for a G, you said that you wanted a big funeral with different rappers rapping, but it was said that instead you were cremated. It's also been said that your group Outlaws smoked your ashes. How do you feel about that?
I've heard various rumors and speculations about my funeral and what happened afterward. I want to clarify that I did express some of my songs and interviews that I wanted a big funeral with different rappers performing. However, the reality of what occurred after my passing may have been different from my wishes. As for the rumors about my ashes, I can't confirm or deny those stories. I believe that people find different ways to cope with grief and loss, and sometimes those actions can be symbolic in nature. It's important for my fans and loved ones to remember the music, messages, and positive impact I aim to have on the world rather than getting caught up in sensationalized stories.
Thank you, Tupac, for this unique and insightful interview. Your passion, fearlessness, and dedication to your craft have left an indelible mark on the world of music and culture. Your music continues to inspire and resonate with countless fans, and your legacy lives on. As we conclude this interview, we remember your powerful lyrics, your commitment to addressing important social issues, and your enduring impact on the world. You will always be remembered as one of the greatest artists in the history of hip-hop. Rest in peace, Tupac Shakur. Your words and music will forever live on. So Tupac, anything you would like to say before we?
I want to say, since I've been out, everybody got something to say about me. You got niggas trying to assassinate my character even until this day. But my legacy is written in stone. The powers that be made sure that I didn't die a revolutionary, but I was sent to death row and set up to die by the hands of my own people. And I ain't mad at that. Just before you judge the book, read the book and see what the cause and effects are before dismissing my acts on this earth. And another thing, when the fuck would I let a cop speak for me? So when you hear shit from pigs that act like we was down, all I want you to do is use your brain and ask yourself, would Tupac fuck with a pig? And if you know me, answer would be, hell no. Watch them niggas, that's all I gotta say on that. Other than that, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and experiences. Oh, my fans out there, keep your heads up and continue striving for a better world. Life is full of challenges, but together we can make a difference. Stay true to yourselves and never stop fighting for what you believe in. Much love and respect to all. And major props and big ups to Dope Interview for this dope interview. Don't forget to bomb first. Thug Life, Tupac Shakur.
From the block to the stage, I wore a minute hats. Rapper, actor, poet, ain't no denying that. Thug life on my chest, it's a heavy load, but I carry the crowd, that's how the story goes. Hail Mary, I wrote rhymes like a prophecy. Blasphemy, controversy, that's my philosophy. To live and die in LA, where I made my mark. The rumors and the haters, I tear them apart. Suge Knight, death row, yeah, I roll with him. We're joining the bloods now, don't believe the rhythm. Against all odds, I name names in the game. But Nas and me, we talk, it ain't the same. White man's world, I took a stand for my people. Khaled and Farrakhan, we spoke to heal. Me and my girlfriend, a metaphor so deep for the love and the struggle, why secrets to kill. Quad Studios nice, some say I shot myself, but that ain't the truth, gotta put it on the shelf. Legacy lives on through my music and my crew. Outlaws, my family, yeah, we stay true. Yo, it's Tupac, back from the past. Let's dive in real fast to the interview questions where the truth is unmasked. Dope interviews got me talking, no filter, no lies, spitting rhymes of wisdom.
With the dunk Illuminati, that fiery heat. Explain my inspiration, had the game at my feet. Hail Mary, a classic, that message deep and strong. And blasphemy, I spoke my truth, nothing went wrong. In heaven for a G, he wanted a big farewell, but he was cremated, a story some did tell. Government involvement or just street beef? Tupac left us wondering, his legacy is the relief. He wore no vest that night, his look so knowing, but in Vegas, the shots rang out, death was showing. Though gone from this world, his spirit remains. Tupac, a rap legend, forever in our veins.
I grew up on pop, thug life on my own. I grew up on pop, revolutionary, stay strong. Came up off pop, yeah, he gave me the game. Rest in peace, Tupac, long live your name. I was bumping Tupac way back in 5th grade. I was bumping Tupac with a high top fade. I remember Tupac, he told me get paid. Long live Tupac, from the cradle to the grave. I was a white man's world, my ancestors were slaves. We had Malcolm X and Khaled for you conscious to raise against all odds. In a world that's crazy, they said Pac was a blood, but think that's brave.